ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this video about the Writing Navigator from Curriculum Pathways, especially focusing on the Writing Reviser. So the Writing Navigator is the entire writing cycle, the writing process, from planning to drafting to revising and publishing. In the language arts class, this bears a lot of relevancy, but this video is targeted more at our teachers who are not teaching language arts, but are trying to integrate writing across the curriculum. So every teacher is able to access Curriculum Pathways for free due to the sponsorship by SAS, which is a wonderful, wonderful company. So I'm going to show you how, from my school, we get to it. We're able to log in through our Clever Apps. Clever Apps is a single sign-on method. You can log in directly to the Curriculum Pathways website if your school does not offer a Clever single sign-on. So once I get into Clever, I'm going to select the tile that says Curriculum Pathways. Curriculum Pathways is the name of the umbrella company that runs this tool. And I've already favorited it because I use it pretty regularly. So when I get into the Curriculum Pathways portal, there are a ton of resources in here. Absolutely, so many in all different content areas, but we're looking for one very specific right now. Writing Navigator. So again, the Writing Navigator has several different parts, but we're looking very specifically for the Writing Reviser. So the Writing Reviser is an artificial intelligence tool that runs basically a really impressive data analysis on your writing. So what happens is if students have used the Writing Navigator through all steps, you can load it, but most of our students are writing on Google Docs. So let's go ahead and act as if we're one of our students. So we're going to click Create Essay. And they always ask you to identify your purpose and your audience, not because it impacts how the information is analyzed, but because this is a step that our students often skip. Why are you writing this? So the example that I'm going to use is from a script for a YouTube video that I wrote out about converting Google Forms to a quiz. So my purpose is to inform viewers about Google Forms as quizzes. My audience would be other teachers, right? And then you're able to go and copy and paste whatever it is you've written. Copy and paste it into their analyzer. We're going to hit send. Oops, I lied. We're going to hit submit. Send is if you're going to turn it in. We're going to hit submit first. All right, and so basically it runs some really impressive statistics very quickly. So it's going to count that the portion I just put into the analyzer had 819 words with 41 sentences, 12 paragraphs, and my average sentence was about 19 words long. That's pretty long. Most sentences are going to be an awful lot shorter than that. And actually, it's easy to see that if you hit chart. So what they've done is they've blued out what the typical sentence would be, and it does tell you that most sentences run 15 to 20 words, but that's for high school. So if you teach middle school, you're going to kind of want to drop it back down to the 10 to 15 words per sentence range. And so what you'll see here is I've got some pretty big run-ons that are taking up a really large 40 plus words in them. So there's probably something wrong with those sentences. So in addition to looking at my sentence length, you can go in and look at your sentence economy. So it will identify areas where you might be being wordy. All right, so really is a fluff word. It's highlighting that because that might be an opportunity where I'm just dropping in blah. And so you can go and you can learn more about wordiness. If you don't know what that is, it'll give you some examples. Maybe I'm looking for repeated words, and it's going to count how many times I use each word in my writing. Now, words like to, the, you, it, a, those are all pretty common words, right? Those are usually going to show up towards the top of your list. But if you have things like, ooh, I said question an awful lot and an awful lot pretty close to each other, is that really how I want to do that? Or do I want to use synonyms, right? When you tell kids that you're repeating yourself, this is wrong, they don't always see how they're sounding repetitive, but this puts it in a very visual way for them to notice. You can also go into sentence variety, looking for run-ons. Look, see, it pulled up that really long one. Here it is. See, it targeted these really long sentences. And it doesn't necessarily mean that there are run-ons, but it's saying that these are sentences that you should look back at closely. So the best way to use this with your students is to have them put in their essay or their writing, and it can be as short as a paragraph. This is a little bit longer. But to have them, when they run their statistics, see how down here it says possible run-ons, it says word recurrence, it says repeated subject, weak verbs. I would choose 1 to 2 of these for kids to focus on. So when you have them do a writing, you want them to specifically be looking for simple sentences and sentence fragments. And then perhaps you might want to have your AG students who are running a little bit ahead look at their vague wording and their vague references, right? Because these are going to be, it's not necessarily saying that these things are wrong, it's saying you need to go look at these things. All right, and this can be different for each kid. So this one, I have a lot of words used more than once, so maybe that's something that you want me to look at. But, if the kid is writing it, there are probably going to be more possible sentence fragments. There are going to be more possible run-on sentences. So you really want, as each kid looks at their data, to have them start analyzing, all right, which areas should I be focusing on? I do encourage you to test this out with one of your emails or something you've sent recently. It's really informative and it is also very revealing about what you are and are not doing pretty regularly. But I really like this tool. It's a great way to make the kids revise and edit, and you are able to then copy and paste everything back out and into your document if you need to replace them. So that's the Writing Reviser from Curriculum Pathways. If you have any questions about it or need help with it, drop something in the comments below. I am so totally happy to help you use it. It's been really, really useful for my students and even useful for my own writing. I use this sometimes for my grad school work. So that's about it. Like the video, subscribe to get more content just like this.